All right, so we're going to dive right into designing our glyph. So as I mentioned in the little window tour, this is our glyph window. We have our name and our tools at the top, and we have a little bar at the bottom. And let's just get to know it a little bit. You can zoom in and out using the Z and X buttons. You can also use the traditional Command plus and Command minus for zooming in and out. The X and Z are holdovers from FontLab, and they zoom right into wherever your cursor is. You can also use the Option and scroll wheel, but I find that has a little bit less control, so I like to use the Z and X buttons. You can pan the view using holding down the spacebar and dragging. You can also obviously just use the if you have a trackpad or a magic mouse for four-dimensional scrolling there. For selecting a contour in the glyph view, you can drag a box over it like normal, or you can hold down Command and select the nearest contour here. So if I had two contours, you can see that if I hold down Command and click near this one, it will select that one. If I hold down Command and select that one, if I hold down Shift and Command and click, I can, pick them individually, or I can hold down Command A and select all of the contours. The direction of your contours really matter in RoboFont. You can see these two shapes have different directions. If I select one and I say reverse, if I select a node and I say reverse contour, it will reverse that contour to make sure that it is the same. If I hold down the tilde key, or the key that's right below your escape button, it will show a black and white preview of the glyph without any of the nodes in the way. If you want to kind of stick in that view for a while, you can hold down the tilde button, hold down the Shift button, and then let go of the tilde button, and it will kind of stick you in that view. It's helpful for trying to get a feel for something and zooming in and out on it. And if you want to get out of this view, you just tap the tilde button again. You can move these guys around by clicking and dragging on any of the nodes. In RoboFont, you can't click and drag in the center of a contour. You have to actively select the perimeter of a contour. And so what do I mean by contours and what do I mean by contours and nodes and all that stuff? So what we have here is in the transform panel, we have a points section, and we'll give you like a nested list of all the different shapes in your glyph, which are called contours. Each contour contains a segment. So in this shape there are 4 segments. In this shape there are 3 segments. And a segment can either be a line or it can be a curve. And I can make this line a curve by holding down Option and clicking on that line. And now it is a curve. So now I have a shape that is entirely curves and a shape that's entirely lines. So when you have a shape that is a curve, you have 2 different types of nodes. You have a square node here, one that denotes that a line is coming into it, and then you have a circle node which denotes that on either side of it there are 2 handles, or what they're called BCPs, or Bezier control points. You can see that these two Beziers move independently of each other. So if we wanted to make what's called a smooth point, as opposed to what this is called a corner point, these are corner points too, we can double click on it to make these 2 points locked into each other. And what I get if I double click on this point, which has a line leading into it and then a curve, if I double click on it, I get a triangle, which is called a tangent point. A tangent point is the angle of the Bezier control point is always locked into what that line, the angle of this line, is going to be. So you can see that as I move this glyph around, the angle of this this is maintaining with the line that it's connected to. I can control the length of it, but it's always going to match that angle. And if you want to get out of it, you just double click on it, and that kind of releases it. So we have these two contours. If I wanted to join them together, I would drag them on top of each other, and then I would click this button up here that says remove overlap. And that essentially makes all the contours that are overlapping in your font into one contour, not in your font, in your glyph, into one contour. And you can edit it. Usually it's good to maintain your overlaps when drawing a font, because when the font is generated, the overlaps are removed usually anyway. So we have these two contours, but they don't look anything close to what an N is. So in the next section, we are going to get straight into how do we draw an N. See you there.